What we're doing here at Activate is we are bringing together people, and we're really just bringing out the creativity and the leadership that already exists within communities. I have a background in dance and theater as a performer, and then I also have a background in social justice and human rights education. And Activate is really a union of these coming together. We start every training with team building. Building community, helping participants get to know each other, get to feel comfortable, creating a safe space. And then we move on to a more sort of rigorous understanding of looking globally at human rights issues and looking at how those global human rights issues affect people on a local level. So for example, in India, where we've just done a huge series of trainings, a lot came out around gender inequality, water scarcity, poverty issues, lack of access to livelihoods. And so these are the kinds of conversations that we start having, and we do them through a variety of different techniques and pedagogies, such as theater of the oppressed techniques, critical pedagogy, which is inspired by Paulo Freire, a Brazilian educator, and then build that into some more sort of meditative practices and self-reflection, so that what we're getting is a comprehensive understanding of an issue, not just at the intellectual level, but at the heart level, at the connection level, and also in an embodied way. Something that's unique about Activate is that we're not coming in and saying, here's the issue that you need to work on. We're coming in and saying, what are the issues that are important to you?
ये बच्चों को इस स्लम में जो बच्चे काम कर रहे हैं उनकी पीड़ा को देखकर उन पे कोई ध्यान नहीं देते, उसको देखकर मैं इंस्पायर्ड हुई। मैंने सोचा कि उनके लिए कोई कदम उठाया जाए ताकि मैं उनके साथ मिलकर उनके दुख दर्द को समझ सकूं। इसलिए
कि जो आप टॉपिक लिए हैं उस टॉपिक पे अपने ग्रुप में मिलकर बात शेयर करें कि क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम इसमें आते हैं, क्या क्या इनमें समस्या होती है और इसको हम कैसे सुधार सकते हैं। फिर इस टॉपिक सबसे ज़्यादा किसे प्रभावित करता है, और दूसरा टॉपिक था कि इससे ये पैदा कैसे होते हैं, ऐसा मतलब तो ऐसा समस्या कैसे आता है, तो इसके लिए हम लोग एक टॉपिक लिए। और तीसरा था इसका हम लोग निवारण कैसे कर सकते हैं। आप 3 मिनट के अंदर उसे नाटक के रूप में प्रस्तुत करें, जिसमें हमें कैसे ये समस्या आती है वो भी निकल के आ जाए, और इससे कैसे लोग प्रभावित होते हैं वो भी आ जाए निकल के, और इसको हम कैसे हल कर सकते हैं इस समस्या को।
I use participatory learning in everything that I'm doing. So I'm never standing in front of a room and lecturing. It's always question asking and getting people to dialogue and talk about it. And then comes in the felt sense of what is this in our bodies. In our world today, we're so bombarded by technology, by internet, by being in front of computer, that we actually are detached from our bodies. We're not taught to learn through our bodies. We're not taught that our bodies are a source of information, a source of power. And in these trainings, we're trying to reclaim that. Dance and theater, particularly the embodied experience, is a way to communicate ideas. It's a way to honor culture and history. So we're using these traditional methods of storytelling, but we're giving them new content.
हमारा थीम था, इस पे हम लोग काम कर रहे थे, जिस पे हम लोग दिखा रहे थे कि उसका कारण क्या है, उसका प्रभाव क्या पड़ता है और उसका निदान कैसे किया जाए। हम लोगों ने पहले दहेज प्रथा को अपने ध्यान में लाया, विजुअलाइज किया, और साफ साफ क्लियर नजर आ रहा था कि कैसे कि महिला जो होती है पीड़ित होती है, उसके चेहरे पे हाव भाव कैसे रहता है, वो पूरी हम लोग के सामने आ गई। अशिक्षित यानी कि पढ़े लिखे नहीं है, तो उनमें शुरू से ये परंपरा चली आ रही है कि बेटे की शादी में दहेज लेना है, लेकिन जो बेटा था उसका वो पढ़ा लिखा था, और जिससे उसकी शादी होने वाली थी वो भी लड़की पढ़ी लिखी थी। तो बेटा जो शिक्षित था वो अशिक्षित माता पिता को जागरूक कर रहा था। जहाँ पे ये दिखाया गया कि जो एक सास ससुर है अपनी बहू को दहेज लाने के लिए पीट रहे हैं, उसे जला रहे हैं। जो कि दुनिया में होते रहती हैं। इसके बाद हमने इसका एक सॉल्यूशन दिखाया कि इसका समाधान किस तरह हम कर सकते हैं। ये एक कोशिश था जो हम लोग करते हैं, लड़कियों को मान दें, क्योंकि आज के ज़माने में लड़कियां वो भी चीज़ कर सकती हैं जो लड़के कर सकते हैं।
The participants go through an experience which is transformative for them. So whatever they've cultivated in themselves, even in 4 days, directly goes into the community.
पहले तो मेरा दिमाग एकदम अपने समुदाय में चला गया, जो हम लोग डेली काम कर रहे हैं, तो वहाँ थोड़ा चला गया कि कैसे कैसे मतलब हो रहा है और समाज में क्या बुराइयाँ हो रही है उस पर थोड़ा गया। और फिर समूह में काम करने का भी अलग अलग लोग आए, अलग अलग लोग से अनुभव मिला कि उनके समुदाय में क्या दिखते हैं। मेरे में 7 लोग थे, तो 7 के प्रॉब्लम अलग अलग थे। और फिर उधर भी ग्रुप में जो काम हो रहा था, तो उसमें भी जो समस्या उभर के आ रही थी वो शायद आज भी मिल रहा है समुदाय में, जहाँ लोग पढ़े लिखे नहीं हैं, वहाँ ऐसा समस्या हमेशा देखने को।
One young woman who was in a training, she was so inspired, she left, and within a week she had gathered a group of 12 young women in her community and started regularly meeting with them to create their own performances in their community, that they then, a month later, started sharing in a larger forum. So that's just one small example of how quickly this work can have a ripple effect. In the workshop, they create an action plan and an action campaign. I really encourage people to think of something that is tangible, that they can really do, and make a pledge to do it. After the workshop, they take it forward, and I give them support along the way through email and through phone calls. Another thing that happens in the training is I always do a session on world dance and music, and it's really exciting for people. I show video clips of dances from all over the world, and then we talk about the power of song and the power of dance for liberation. And then we get a chance to explore in our own lives, in our own cultures and histories, what are the songs that make us feel powerful? What are the dances that make us feel powerful? And that becomes a great platform for building solidarity internationally. Nonviolence, justice, peace, clear communication, self-awareness, creativity, diversity, respect for difference, unity, community, love, a commitment to taking action, and the ability and confidence to interrupt oppression when they see it. Those underlying values infuse the way we interact with each other, infuse the way the program is modeled, and people really walk away with an opportunity to cultivate those values. Another thing that happens that I do in every training is a session on gender. The structures of patriarchy and the structures of sexism continue to adversely affect both men and women, both boys and girls. And particularly in India, where the literacy rates for women are really low, where girls' education is not highly respected, where even girls are not respected, and levels of female infanticide are really high. And while we don't feel the impact of it as much in the United States, it's critical here as well. And part of how I move in this work is as a feminist and is in advocating for gender equality and doing that with men and women, with boys and girls on the same page. I find it to be a gateway for how we can understand all oppressions and a gateway for how we can find liberation from those oppressions. So doing the gender session as part of these trainings has in many cases been actually the changing point of the training. So in the beginning, participants come in, they're maybe feeling shy, men are on one side of the room, women are on the other side of the room, they're not engaging, women aren't speaking up as much, and then we do this gender session and the whole thing changes. People are laughing, people are talking to each other, women are speaking up and out in new ways, and I have been completely humbled and completely shocked by how quickly that change can happen. And it's given me inspiration to see that, okay, this is possible. In a world where I get really discouraged about this particular issue, I have seen so many examples of it shifting and changing that it just gives me hope. I really really believe in the power of individual transformation and larger social transformation as the key to our collective liberation. And that's what we're trying to do. I really hope that you'll join me. We need each other in this. We all need to do this together.